Good morning, everyone. I am freaking tired, but we're on our way to Calder Park now for Drift X. It's like 5:30 a.m. This will be the first rundown for the car, so we'll see how we go. I've packed a spare diff and shafts thanks to Luke Foley at Garage Mew. I don't really have a heap to say right now because I am exhausted. It's about an hour from where I am to Calder Park, which isn't too bad. There's no traffic at this time, pretty chilled. Though my windshield is getting peppered with bugs. Yeah, we're just chilling. It's gonna be hot today. It'll be 36 degrees at Calder Park, which for anyone who hasn't been to Calder Park, 36 degrees at Calder Park is more like 50,000 degrees. So it'll be a good test for our Chinese radiator and thermo fans. I'll touch base when we're there and yeah. did the car do over the weekend? Well, for the most part, really well. It makes heaps of power and it makes heaps of torque, so it's actually pretty easy to drive. I didn't have a heap of confidence in its ability to self-steer for some reason. The steering feels a little different to how it did previously with the RB in place. Whether that's because of the extra weight, because the weight's further forward, up front, because it has no front sway bar, don't know. But it steers a little different. Not to say it steers poorly, just to say it steers a little different. It kept pretty cool. For a 36-degree day, the highest temperature I saw was 114, and that was after beating on it for 3 laps straight. I was doing on average 2 laps and then a cool down lap, and then I don't know, another lap or 2 and then another cool down lap. And I could keep the temps pretty easily under like 108, which is all right. I mean, the majority of people were having heating issues that day though, so I don't really feel bad about that. But how reliable was it? The absolute budget build with the Chinese parts catalog getting thrashed for 2 days straight. How did it go? Did it break anything? Yes. Did it break anything major? Yes. So the first issue we ran into on the Saturday night was a drive belt got munched out, which is why our poor BA Falcon no longer has a drive belt. It chewed it out. It didn't actually completely snap it in half. It just sort of like started chewing it out on the side. It ate out half the ribs on the belt. So we decided not to drive it any further at risk of taking out the drive belt. Because the problem is the drive belt drives not only the power steering, but also the water pump and the alternator. So pretty crucial thing that needs to be intact. The last thing it did, I'm going to chuck it up on a hoist for you to see. It's a little bit more serious. Alright, so now we've got the gearbox out, we can kind of see the extent of the problem that we've got. So this is our clutch, and our clutch is bolted to our flywheel, and our flywheel is bolted to our crank. Now, what happens with a Barra is if you sit on limiter for a while, they have the tendency to loosen off some bolts because they've got pretty terrible harmonics. And in our case, hopefully you can see that, it has loosened off our flywheel. So now we've got to pull the clutch off, get the flywheel out as well. We're probably going to have to do dowels in the crank to hold the flywheel in place on that axis, and then when we go to chuck our bolts back in. You can get retainer plates for ARP bolts. I'm probably going to weld them because I suck as a human being, but hopefully that's enough to rectify that issue, and then we get to chuck our box back in. I don't actually have any dowels here today, so I'm not going to be able to do that just yet, so I'll probably have to push this car back into its bad car corner and return back to doing this at a later date. But hopefully we can get this sorted. I want to get this car done and ready hopefully soon so that we can drive the Victoria Christmas event, which is on the 21st of December. So hopefully I get this video out by then and we can film for that one.